And we are live. Welcome back to Takes by Fans. We got a great show for you today. As always, we are live every single day at noon Eastern. If you want to watch live, head over to twitch.tv/Takes by Fans. If you want to watch but not live, head over to our YouTube channel, Takes by Fans. We post all of our shows and clips of the show there on a daily basis. And if you just want to listen, we are on podcasting apps, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. So however you want to watch or listen, we've got you covered multiple ways. Alrighty, folks, today is the day. March Madness. We're about like 5 minutes away from tip-off of the first game. Absolutely fantastic. Basketball on literally all day today. Noon, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock. So if you're working, unfortunate, try to get out of that office as soon as you can, so you can, just plant yourself and watch your bracket win if you paid attention to what we were saying, or lose if you did not heed our advice. So yeah, we're gonna be We've got the game on right here, so we'll be breaking down if anything's wild is going to happen. I do want to quickly, before we even start the show, just kind of quickly look at the lines for this game, the first game up, tipping off in literally 5 minutes. 5 minutes, 20 seconds, the countdown is on. So let's see if we can get any great value, because yesterday our proof of concept for the first 4 play-in games due to our algorithm actually all hit. All 4 games hit. We picked all 4 winners correctly based on our algorithm. So that, hey, the proof of concept is there. Now they just have to go and do their jobs during the actual games here. So hey, we know what we're talking about here, folks. We know what we're talking about here, folks. So here we go. The first game up is Virginia Tech and Florida. Let's go to our bracket really quickly. We've got... Oh, and we can also look at everybody else's brackets. Absolutely fantastic. Everybody chose Gonzaga in our bracket. Alrighty. Alrighty. The first game up, Virginia and Florida. We predicted... Trying to find where they are here. I believe it's a 7-10 matchup. Alright, here we go. The 7-10 in the South. Florida versus Virginia Tech. We have Virginia Tech upsetting Florida here, so let's see what the spread is. Virginia Tech -1.5. That's basically just picking the winner, so we will have a live bet here, literally tipping off in 4 minutes. We'll kind of monitor it throughout the entire show, but Virginia Tech -1.5. We've got them winning straight up. No problem there. We love that. I also want to draw attention quickly, because this game tips off at 12:45, the Colgate Arkansas game, folks. We love Colgate heavy here, folks. Heavy. So, and the great thing about Colgate is that they're 14th seed, so we can get some great value on their spreads. And here it is, folks. Not only do we have Colgate winning this game against Arkansas, we've got them going all the way to the Elite 8, folks. So we do truly heavily believe in them. Our algorithm heavily believes in them, and our algorithm was just all right yesterday of the 4 games. So you got to trust it a little bit here, and we get great value. Colgate +8.5, folks. Bury this, hammer this, bury it again, because it came back alive, and you had to hit it again with some more money to get it to finally die, so you can finally bury it. Hammer Colgate +8.5, folks. I think they win outright, but this is great value, +8.5 points against Arkansas. Our algorithm is proving right, folks. We got to bet it while it's hot. So here it is. Colgate +8.5 for the 12:45 game, and then Virginia Tech -1.5 for the noon game. We'll come back to this because we'll have a little bit more time to talk about it before all the action starts. The third game starts at 1:15, so we do have a little bit of time to squeeze those in. Or should we just do it now? Let's just do it now. Why not? Get everybody on track, on the same page here for our moneymaker. So we will keep Virginia Tech -1.5 and Colgate +8.5. Now, let's see what other games are on today to see if we can find any other good value. We are looking for the value. Drexel, Illinois. Holy cow, Drexel +22.5. Wow, I can't believe that's a big old spread. We do have Illinois winning the entire thing, or getting into the Final Four. We probably won't play around with this spread. 22 is a lot. I mean, holy cow. So no, not really great value there. Utah State, Texas Tech. Let's see what they're about. We've got Utah State with the upset over Texas Tech, so let's see if we can cash in on some nice value here. Utah State +4. I like that. We'll take that as well. Utah State over Texas Tech. Utah State +4 tipping off at 145. Alrighty, Oral Roberts in Ohio State. We do like Ohio State. We got Ohio State going to the Sweet 16, so we're not going to be swallowing all those points. That's a lot of points to be swallowing, especially in March Madness. I mean, folks, anything can happen. So I would highly suggest not really swallowing anything over like 8 points here. If you want to bet games that have kind of like high spreads, I would always take the points, especially here in March Madness. So we're not going to be swallowing anything big. So Oral Roberts, Ohio State, going to stay away from that one. Hartford, Baylor. We do like Baylor a lot. So once again, and I mean the spread is big. We got Baylor going all the way to the championship game, but I'm not swallowing 25 points. All right, Georgia Tech in Loyola, Chicago. This is interesting because I think Loyola Chicago is actually the underdog here, and they're actually losing points. So here we go. Loyola Chicago versus Georgia Tech. Oh, it's an 8-9 matchup, so very close. We do have Loyola Chicago winning this game, but we will stay away from it because the spread is 5.5. No real great value there. Alrighty, Oregon State, Tennessee 4:30 matchup. Where's Oregon State at? Let me look at it like this. I might be able to expedite some of this. Here we go. Oregon State, Georgia Tech. Oregon State, Tennessee, we should say. All right, here it is. Okay, that's not what I'm trying to click. Okay. I thought I just had it. All right, Tennessee, Oregon State. We got Tennessee winning. They are the favorites, and they're -8.5, so we will not take that. All right, Liberty, Oklahoma. Ooh, I think we can get something good with Liberty. Do we have Liberty with the upset? We did. Liberty over Oklahoma State, so we might be able to get some good value here. Liberty +7. Yes! We've got the winning outright, folks. Come on. Yes, this is going to be a good matchup. These are close. Our algorithm taking these upsets, we believe heavily in them, and we're getting 7 points. We will hammer that. Yes, sir. Alrighty, some great value already day one. All right, let's see if we can keep it going here. Wisconsin, North Carolina. We've got UNC winning, and the spread is close, -1.5, so we'll probably stay away from that one. We got great value elsewhere. Cleveland State, Houston. We love Houston, and it's -20. We're not swallowing that. North Texas and Purdue. We've got Purdue winning, and it's Purdue -7, so we're not going to take that. Not really any great value there. Syracuse, San Diego State. Okay, I think I like this. San Diego State -3. We do have San Diego State beating Syracuse, and I don't think Syracuse is going to be that good. And San Diego State is actually really good. We got them advancing all the way to the Sweet 16, and they would probably go a little bit further. They just have to face Houston, unfortunately. So we will take San Diego State -3. I think that's real great value there because they are a very good team where Syracuse is not that great. Alrighty, Morehead State in West Virginia. We've got West Virginia beating Morehead State. Morehead State is the underdog. They're getting 13 points. We're not going to take that. Winthrop and Villanova. There it is. Winthrop +6.5. Love that as well. Winthrop is going to upset Villanova today. That's a fact, folks. We know this. We are super impressed by Winthrop. We have them going all the way to the Sweet 16. Once again, they would probably go a little bit further. They just unfortunately have to run into Baylor, and Baylor's real good. So we will take Winthrop +6.5. So we've got some great value here today. That's the last game of the night, 9:57 tip-off, Winthrop over Villanova. But we got a great 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 team working right now. Officially 6 team. Can't get that other game in because it's already tipped off. It's 2-0 Florida 3 minutes into the game. So we got Virginia Tech -1.5, so they better step it up right here. Here it is. Are they going to get their first shot? Oh, easy. Under the basket. That's easy money right there. Alrighty, so we will be tracking Virginia Tech -1.5 throughout the show. Colgate +8.5. I think that's the best bet of the night, folks. I would just hammer that all day. Utah State +4, Liberty +7, San Diego State -3, and Winthrop +6.5. All great value. I mean, folks, if you had that 16 parlay going, it's all going to hit, and it's going to be a lot of money. So, we'll see what happens on the first official day of our algorithm. But yesterday, kind of just the proof of concept, hitting all 4 of the playing games. So fantastic. Alrighty, so that's just some business to clean up on March Madness as it begins, as it tips off, because our show will be live throughout March Madness. I mean, we go live noon. Games are tipping off at 12:15, so we'll be able to try to squeeze in our moneymakers of the NCAA tournament right at the beginning of the show. Alright, so now that we have all that out of the way, we got all the urgent business out of the way, let's continue on with the show today. I am going to try, I don't even know if we're going to be able to squeeze in. I want to still do power rankings in the NBA. It is Friday, and it's our first power ranking after the All-Star break, so I do want to try to get that in. I do want to still try to get our MVP topics, so let's just try to go through all this quickly, folks. But once again, there's just a lot to talk about. It's free agent period, folks, in the NFL. What more do y'all want from us? So here we go. Let's just start it here. Stories of the day. All right, Patrick Peterson, he is going to Minnesota. Great spot for him. Now, he is kind of aging out of this league. He is getting up here. This is probably going to be his last team. I thought Arizona was going to be his last team. I thought he was going to stay there forever. But he is going to the Vikings, and we know Mike Zimmer did not like that defense, and this offense is really good. I mean, Kirk Cousins is a serviceable quarterback. Don't get us wrong. He's a game manager quarterback. I don't want to put him above average because above average game manager, that's where we put Ryan Tannehill at, but I want to put him at maybe an average game manager for Kirk Cousins. And then you got Adam Thielen and Justin Jefferson. I mean, come on. That's actually great talent. And then you got Dalvin Cook. Come on, don't tell me they should not be winning more games than they should be. So definitely got to shore up their defense a little bit, and they did that with cornerback Patrick Peterson going to Minnesota. Alrighty, Chargers, they signed tight end Jared Cook. Now, this is actually a great kind of weapon for Justin Herbert, a nice catching tight end. He's not tier 1 catching tight end. He is 6'5", great height there. He's never been a 1,000-yard tight end receiver. The most he's done is almost 900 yards, which is absolutely fantastic with Oakland. The last 2 seasons, he had 700 yards and 500 yards, but his touchdowns in the last 3 seasons, 6 touchdowns, 9 touchdowns, 7 touchdowns, using him in the red zone, and that's what the Chargers are going to be doing. They could probably use him down the field a little bit more as well, because Justin Herbert and they, has the arm and has the placement to, hit whoever, wherever on the field. So this is actually a great signing for the Chargers, just giving Justin Herbert more weapons. And we saw what Justin Herbert did this season with really not that many weapons. I mean, who were really the Chargers wide receivers? Who were their weapons? So, and he set record after record after rookie record first season in. So the man is going to be great. Oh, yes, sir. Virginia Tech hitting another 3. They go up 10-6. I mean, come on, folks. Come on. Virginia Tech -1.5. That was easy money. But back to Jared Cook here. Absolutely magnificent signing here. 1 year, $6 million to the Chargers, helping out Justin Herbert. And then I like this one as well. Getting these younger quarterbacks, these good quarterbacks, good tight end, safety, blanket weapons. The Giants just picked one up as well. They pick up Kyle Rudolph from the Vikings on a 2-year, $16 million deal. Now, Kyle Rudolph, not the greatest catching tight end. Not really. Jared Cook is a little bit of a better catcher than Kyle Rudolph is. But Kyle Rudolph is kind of a great blocking tight end. He can catch the ball, use him in the red zone. The most yards he ever caught for in a season was 840, and then the second highest after that was like 600. So he really has never really gotten that close to that 1,000-yard season by a tight end, and that is something that is kind of new that is emerging in this league. It's really just been set off by, Gronk and Travis Kelce and George Kittle. Jared Cook, Kyle Rudolph, they, started early, Kyle Rudolph just came in 2011, and Jared Cook's been in here since 2009. So, a little bit of older, the old school tight ends not really catching up to, we actually kind of need to be basically receivers as well, because Travis Kelce was the second leading weapon at the tight end position, which is crazy. So these tight ends are still very good. They're just not the tier 1 new school, new age of tight ends that are playing right now. But definitely a great safety blanket once again for Daniel Jones, beefing up that offense a little bit, getting more offensive playmaking weapons around Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley. That's what it's going to make them successful offensively, and they're on their way to do it. Let's praise this Giants organization for picking up some nice pieces here in free agency. Alrighty, another signing here. This one, it's a running back. Kenyan Drake agrees to a 2-year, $11 million deal with the Raiders. Once again, absolutely fantastic. He's a great number 2 running back, absolutely. He can be a number 1. He'd be, a little bit of an okay number 1. But to back up Josh Jacobs, yes, sir. Kenyan Drake is going to fit in absolutely perfectly here. They've got a lot of speed on this Raiders offensive side of the ball. All of them can run. And just last year, Kenyan Drake with the Cardinals ran for 955 yards and 10 touchdowns. So yes, and now you just put him in kind of the backup to Josh Jacobs. He's still going to be able to make it work. So we'll see what happens with this Raiders team, if John Gruden can kind of get his team on track, because they really have a nice offense here. They need to be able to run it good, and they need to be able to sustain that great offensive production throughout the entire season, not like the last 2 seasons with the Raiders, where they're great the first 8 games offensively and kind of defensively, but then that back half of the season, man, they get exposed, they get figured out, they don't really change anything up, and then they end up missing the playoffs after having a really great start to the season. So it happened already 2 years in a row for John Gruden. One more year, we're going to have to start looking at him of being that kind of reason of the non-success the Raiders are having. But once again, a good pickup here, running back Kenyan Drake going to the Raiders. Alrighty, and then the Dolphins got their guy, and I'm a little excited about this one, not because of what we actually got, but because of what we're not going to get. So here we go. Dolphins signed wide receiver Will Fuller to a 1-year deal. Nice 6-foot wide receiver. He is unfortunately suspended for the first game of the season because he got suspended 6 games at the end of last season with only 5 games to go, so it carries over to this season as well, and it was for like PED use. He claimed that, just this new regimen he was on, he didn't know. Come on. So he tried to play the system there last season in Houston, and it did not work. But I mean, he's a solid receiver. I mean, 6 foot, that's the minimum I want my receivers, unless you're Tyreek Hill going up and playing like you're 6'5". But yeah, 6 foot for Will Fuller. Never had the 1,000-yard receiving, but what we do get with Will Fuller is sure hands. The last 3 seasons, 71% catch percentage, 69% catch percentage, 70% catch percentage. So the last 3 years, basically averaging 70%. We'll take that. Now for the yards in the last 3 seasons, 500 yards, 4 touchdowns, 670 yards, 3 touchdowns, 879 yards, 8 touchdowns. That was just last season. So he is getting better almost every single season. The catch percentages are there. So, kind of a young and emerging wide receiver out here. Give this man an option. Line him up opposite side of Devontae Parker, and I think we got a nice little kind of, wide receiver game. Now, since we do get Will Fuller, we're probably not going to get Juju Smith-Schuster, and I don't want to knock Juju Smith-Schuster too much, but, I mean, at some point, we really got to kind of take a solid look at Juju Smith-Schuster with the off-field antics and his on-field production to really see, is it really worth signing Juju Smith-Schuster? So, the fact that we got Will Fuller probably means we don't get Juju, and I'm kind of all right with that. Just that off-field antics and then dancing on those logos, it's just disrespect, and he's not even doing it, he's just doing it for TikTok. And I mean, like, I get it, go and make revenue other places, I don't mind that. I'm sure he's getting a lot of money off of TikTok endorsements, but still, at the end of the day, I mean, you're hurting your entire team, and I really don't want that in the locker room, unfortunately. So Will Fuller to the Dolphins. Now, hopefully, we just get a wide receiver in the draft, and we're Gucci to go, and we're, Super Bowl champions next season. Just like that. Easy. Alrighty, Jets news right here. They sign Rams and Rams and Raiders safety LaMarcus Joyner to a 1-year deal. Robert Saleh really trying to shore up this defense. They got a nice safety. Now it's Richard Sherman going to go to the Jets. What's the holdup on that? I mean, we know that's where Richard Sherman wants to go, but Robert Saleh knows Richard Sherman is not signing him. That's not the best look, really, especially when he's signing, LaMarcus Joyner, who's good, who's very solid, but you're not going to sign Richard Sherman? Like, what is that? So, not really sure what's going on with that. But Robert Saleh, just trying to have a real nice defense year one because he's the head coach and we know he's defensive minded. So hopefully the offense of the Jets isn't too lackluster because you still need to put up points in this league, and that's what the Jets haven't really been able to do at all this last 4 seasons under Adam Gase, is have a real good offense. So Robert Saleh is still stacking the defense. We'll see what his plan is on the offensive side of the ball, but some interesting things here of Richard Sherman not getting signed, still not getting signed, and Robert Saleh making deals with other defensive players out here. So Richard Sherman, I don't know if your current coach isn't really impressed with you because he was with him with the 49ers and he doesn't want to take a chance on you with his new team, doesn't really trust you. I mean, as a new head coach, you would think you would want to get people you can trust in another 3 by Virginia Tech. Yes, sir, 13-8. You would think that you would want to get people that you're familiar and trustworthy with when this is a huge, you need to have success now. So I need to build my team for a win now. And Robert Saleh does not think Richard Sherman is that at peace, unfortunately, as of right now. Maybe he signs him right now. Maybe he signs him tomorrow. But Richard Sherman is nowhere. Alrighty, and how the MVP have fallen. Oh boy, Mitch Trubisky, he's a backup, unfortunately, but he goes to the Bills, so I'm not really sure what to make of this. Mitch Trubisky goes to a good team, and could you imagine if Mitch Trubisky wins a ring? Come on, I mean, I'm sorry, but I have to root against the Bills now. I'm sorry, I don't want to do that. I liked rooting for Josh Allen last season. I liked seeing them get to the AFC Championship game. I loved seeing their fans get, absolutely jubilant that they could think that they could win a Super Bowl. Y'all went to 4 straight and lost 4 of them. You will not win one, so doesn't matter how good you are. But Mitch Trubisky to the Bills as a backup, I mean, that's what he is. He is a backup quarterback. He's a solid backup quarterback, so don't get me wrong. He does not give me a great chance. And another 3 by Virginia Tech. Yes, sir, 16-10. But, yeah, I mean, this man is not a starting quarterback. He can't hit you in the end zone. He can't make it work in the red zone. He can't be clutch. He turns the ball over too much. But coming off the bench, yeah, I would give him a decent chance to come off the bench. Maybe, in a 1-game period, not in a kind of 5-game block that my quarterback's out. Oh, my quarterback just kind of maybe got ejected for some reason. Or, just took a big hit and had to be out for just 1 game. But that's what Mitch Trubisky is, folks, a backup quarterback. And he goes to Buffalo. Now I just hope his presence doesn't interfere with the locker room. He seems like a good kid, and I do kind of feel bad for knocking him because he seems humble. He's not, outspoken. He's not saying, oh, I'm the best, and, clearly not the best. But he's a backup, so backing up Josh Allen. Congratulations, Mitch Trubisky. You took a chance, you took your opportunity, and you blew it. You blew it, kid. You blew it, kid. I'll post that on YouTube, and that's the name of the clip. You blew it, kid. Alrighty, let's move on. And once again, man, this Marcus Mariota situation is a little frustrating with me. So here we go. Raiders asked Marcus Mariota to take a pay cut to an $8 million pay cut that they want this man to take to get under the cap a little bit better. But I mean, this man was a great backup. He came in and did exactly what they needed him to do for that 1 game that Derek Carr couldn't go. And I think they lost the game, but it was close. It was close. And he was looking real good in the game. It was a real close game. But asking him to take a pay cut. And now, if he doesn't take the pay cut, then I think they just buy out his contract, and then he just becomes an unrestricted free agent. So he's either going to be with the Raiders if they pay the man. If he says, hang on, I'm not taking a pay cut. You're going to pay me what you owe me, and then I'm going to go and have a shot to be kind of a starter somewhere else. Because I don't understand the Bears. What were the Bears thinking? You had Marcus Mariota. We knew Marcus Mariota was open for a trade really at the end of the season. As soon as the season ended, everyone's like, all right, Marcus Mariota, he's actually good to go for a trade, and we knew that a lot of teams were inquiring about him. There was about a 2-day stretch where Marcus Mariota was getting all the buzz, asking about if he was open for a trade. So I'm really not sure why the Bears went with Andy Dalton when you could have gotten Marcus Mariota. I'm taking Marcus Mariota over Andy Dalton every single day of the week, folks. I'm giving Marcus Mariota his second chance here, not Andy Dalton's fourth freaking second chance, all right? So once again, I don't know what's going on with this Bears organization. Matt Nagy or the general manager or both of them are just absolutely garbage at knowing quarterback talent, because we do have a story coming up. Is it next? I might just go to it right now. Where is it? Where is it? Right here. Through 2017, the Bears quarterback transactions since 2017. They signed Mike Glennon. Garbage. We just covered him yesterday on the show. He started a couple of games for the Bears that season in 2017. And he went 1-3 with the Bears, so absolutely trash. Mitch Trubisky also came there in 2017. They drafted that man, so once again, head coach, general manager, trash. Then in 2020, they doubled down with all their trash quarterback knowledge and took on Nick Foles' wild deal that he got from the Jags for some reason because he won a Super Bowl, which is good, but he's a career backup that really just stepped it up and had an amazing run. So then they took on that contract, and then just this season, we all know, just a couple of days ago, they signed Andy Dalton. So, man, oh man, you really just have to, Matt Nagy, I mean, I'm kind of off of him right now. I was giving him the benefit of the doubt, saying that he was just working with bad quarterbacks, but he's actively choosing these bad quarterbacks, or the general manager is. Either one or both of them, get rid of them. I mean, what are we doing? Mike Glennon, Mitch Trubisky, Nick Foles, and Andy Dalton? For the last 5 years, for the last 4 seasons, going into the 5th season, that's what y'all quarterbacks want to be? Ooh, not great. So, Bears had a chance at Marcus Mariota. I know they did. I'm really not sure why this man is probably the best backup quarterback that there is in the league. Marcus Mariota, come on. He should be rivaling Derek Carr for the starting position. So, we'll see what happens to Marcus Mariota if he takes a pay cut. I hope he doesn't. Do not take that pay cut, Marcus Mariota. You deserve all that money, honestly, just for that one performance alone, and then you have a chance to be a starter somewhere else. So do not take the pay cut, Marcus. They will pay you out, and you will be able to go wherever you want. Alrighty, another rumor here. Are the Ravens interested in Kenny Golladay? Ravens eyeing Kenny Golladay. Baltimore has reached out to the wide receiver's agent. That is the rumor going around, and that would be absolutely fantastic for the Ravens. A nice deep threat receiver in Kenny Golladay, and that's what the Ravens offense is missing, folks. That deep threat capability to stretch the field vertically. They don't have that. They got the speed to do that, but they're not going to be able to hold the line for all that speed to get down there. And then, it's just, it's small speed. It's, 5'10 speed, 5'9 speed, which, is still hard to cover. It's not, hard, it's hard as to cover Tyreek Hill, who's still 5'10, but the fastest wide receiver, and then goes up and plays like he's 6'1", high pointing the ball. So, this Ravens offense is very kind of, right at the line, nothing really more than 10 yards deep, 5-yard slants, the read option, the pitch fakes, all of that. But then you add Kenny Golladay to that mix, and we know Lamar Jackson's got an arm. We know he can air it out. It's not Lamar Jackson's arm that's the problem. It's the lack of depth at wide receiver, and it's the really kind of poor, in my opinion, offensive play calling or just offensive scheme in general, not at least incorporating some down-the-field shots, because you need to have that. You need to stretch the field vertically, because if you don't, everybody's just pressing up, and you're going to not be able to move the ball because of that. So we'll see if Kenny Golladay goes to the Ravens. We know he's probably not going to go to the Dolphins, so real good spot there with him in Baltimore. Alrighty, let's go to some Jags news now. Urban Meyer says the Jags are not considering trading quarterback Gardner Minshew, quote, at this point. Now, once again, not really great language. I mean, Gardner Minshew is a perfect backup. Once again, a great backup to have in this league. We can go to his stats real quick. because he does have some impressive stats here. So here we go. Doesn't win you the games. I mean, 2 years of really kind of a lot of games played. 2019, his first season, played 12 games, went 6-6. Not bad. Went 6-6, 60% completion percentage, 3,200 yards in only 12 games. That's really dang good. And then 21 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. The man does not turn the ball over, and that's the best thing about this man. And then in 2020, he played 8 games, started 8 games, went 1-7. Once again, not really great winning percentage there, but 66% completion percentage, 2,200 yards in only 8 games, 16 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. This man is having like 3-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio every single season. That's absolutely fantastic. This man is definitely a backup, especially when you're having Trevor Lawrence, who they're going to draft number 1 overall. Why wouldn't you want to have an experienced quarterback that knows the system as your backup to kind of help out Trevor Lawrence a little bit, or maybe kind of take those first 2 games or first 4 games to get Trevor Lawrence acclimated before you just throw him out there at the beginning of the season. So I would like if Urban Meyer said, oh yes, this man is 100% our backup quarterback, absolutely. But we just kind of get, at this point right now, we're not considering trading him. But another 3 from Virginia Tech. Yes, sir, 19-11 now. I mean, that was one of our algorithm points, folks. The 3-point percent shooting. We need that great shooting in the tournament. And we're getting it right now. Love it. But Gardner Minshew, not considered getting traded at this point, and I think that's the right decision by Urban Meyer. Alrighty, now let's talk about Carson Wentz a little bit right now. Colts quarterback Carson Wentz, quote, "I know I gave everything I had," end quote, during the Eagles run, and we know he did. I mean, folks, this man got injured over and over and over again, and he still came back and still tried to prove it and still got it really done. He still was getting it done except for this last season. So coming back from those injuries, I mean, really just brutal, crushing injuries every single season, and he just comes back harder, better than ever, better than before, goes out, plays his heart out, and then he gets cut by the Eagles, unfortunately. But we knew Carson Wentz is a fighter. We really know that he did give everything. I mean, to work back from an injury, I mean, Andrew Luck got injured once and said, yeah, I'm done. I'm freaking done. Not just with this team. I'm done with this entire game. I'm done. I'm not getting hit anymore. But Carson Wentz, yeah, I get hit. I'm out for the season. We lose. I'm out for the season, the next season, because I got hit. And then the backup quarterback wins. And then I'm out for the next season as well. So Carson Wentz here, really true competitor, true fighter, knows what perseverance is. So that's why I think no doubt he'll have great success here in Indianapolis. And then we get a quote by Jim Irsay yesterday. Jim Irsay sees, quote, "a golden era of Colts football coming to Indy now that Carson Wentz is there." So now we get owner and management that actually believes and trusts in Carson Wentz, where he really didn't have that with the Eagles. We knew, I mean, they put up a statue of Nick Foles after the Super Bowl, really not giving a lot of credit to Carson Wentz during that run. They kind of forced him out. Now he's going to a kind of system that's built to win right now. The management, the ownership is excited about him. They love this man. They're telling him, hey, this is the golden era. You've got it all. Go out and, lead us to that promised land. So I really do think this Colts team is going to be absolutely dangerous this season. And it's because Carson Wentz is really, truly supported here in Indianapolis. So we know he's a fighter. He just needs to stay healthy, man. Hopefully the Colts are having all their kind of research and development, coming up with some type of nutrition or something, some plan to keep this man healthy, whether it's just to kind of replace everything with metal, everything that's bone, everything that's just cartilage, replace it with metal, man. Just a complete one-time surgery, get this man right for the rest of his career, because he's only, I think he's done with his rookie contract. Is that right? I think they paid him, but he's still only like 4 or 5 years in the league. So watch out for the Colts, folks, this season. Alrighty, Justin Fields yesterday, swagging on Twitter yesterday. Had to let him know I'll be in the 4.3s by pro day. Yes, sir. I think he unofficially ran like a 4.440 on this little video he sent out here. So let's watch this man run. Here we go. Here's his 40 right now. Yes, sir. This man's a quarterback, folks. 4.4140. absolutely magnificent for a quarterback to run, and he said he's going to get down to 4 threes by pro day. So we'll keep eyes on Justin Fields. I'm not the biggest Justin Fields fan, but this is definitely turning me around a little bit. And if he could reach 4-3, holy moly, even 4.39, I don't give a damn. It's 4.3. You take it. You take that speed. So we'll see what Justin Fields can do by his pro day. But man, oh man, he's fast, folks. Alrighty, we get a nice little highlight clip here. Whenever we have a chance to watch Troy Polamalu on the show, we will take it. And we're going to get a nice little highlight package here, thanks to NFL Throwback tweeting this out. When Troy Polamalu won Defensive Player of the Year, so we're getting his great defensive plays in 2010. I mean, honestly, I would say this man's the best defensive back in all of football. I'll say that. I'll live and die by that take. I do not care. This man was freakishly athletic, and the reason that I think I love Tyrann Mathieu so much is because he kind of resembles a little bit of Troy Polamalu. I would put him maybe a step behind Troy Polamalu. I don't know if there'll ever be that freakish athletic talent, but Troy Polamalu, Minka Fitzpatrick, Tyrann Mathieu, all really similar talents here of Troy Polamalu, and this just freakish athleticism. So here we go. Let's see Troy Polamalu work. What a legend. I mean, truly deserved a 2 rings, I believe, and absolutely fantastic. So here we go. On the goal line, just leaps literally right over, times the snap count exactly right. This is how freakishly athletic this man was. He could literally just hurdle an entire lineman before the snap even comes. As the snap is happening, I mean, just to time it right, and then to get off your horse, and then to leap over somebody right on the goal line, and then to get the sack on top of all of that. Folks, I mean, just right there, that one play alone will cement you into some freaking Hall of Fame legacy right now. But that's not all he performed. That's not all he brings to the table, folks. So let's keep it going here. Pass here, just once again steps in front of an interception, and then he gets on his horse to try to get to the end zone, and he does, because he stretches, because he's so athletic and so talented. Look at him just step in front of this throw. Who is this? Is this Andy Dalton? This will be truly comical. I think it is. It's got to be Andy Dalton. Oh, it's not. Darn it. Troy Polamalu just steps right. I mean, what a great safety, man. Oh, man. Watching this man work. Woo. One of my favorite players of all time, I would have to say. Especially defensive side of the ball, man. Troy Polamalu-loving Malu, folks. Alrighty, in the red zone now, tip ball, and then diving at the 1-yard line to make the pick. Yes, sir. I mean, just wherever he is on the field, if he leaps, you know something's about to go down. Either he's leaping over the line, he's leaping to make the pick, he's leaping to make a big old tackle. Hopefully we get some big hits, because this man was throwing some shoulders around in the league as well. So a nice pick here by Troy Polamalu. Now here we go against Joe Flacco. Yes, sir. The safety rush off the right side hits the hand of Joe Flacco, forces a fumble. Yes, sir. Just look how quick. Nobody even blocked him. Nobody even saw him. And he comes in here once again leaping. Leaping. Troy Polamalu is a dangerous sight, folks. He takes off 2 feet off the ground, hits the hand of Joe Flacco. Ball is loose. I mean, folks, if he is in the air, you better take notice. And then another one coming off the right side again, blowing the play up right at the point of attack. As soon as that ball is handed off, the man is already in the backfield waiting to make the play. He can get off the ball. His timing of the snap count is impeccable, folks. It's really unrivaled in this league right now. Alrighty, now he's doing it against Matt Ryan. Yes, sir, stepping up and making the pick on the sideline. I mean, just look at this man work. Toe tapping on the sideline. Safeties are toe tapping. Yes, sir. Okay. Here we go. Once again, just diving in front of the ball. This man knows. He's reading the eyes the entire time. Just his natural instincts of where the ball is going to go and knowing the route combinations. I mean, look at this, folks. The man hasn't even thrown this ball yet, and he's already making his way towards that receiver over there. Right here, the ball barely wasn't even thrown yet, and he was just watching the eyes the entire time. I mean, there's no better than that. Now, that was a shitty throw. Don't get me wrong, but still, he's able to read it and recognize it and be in that right place at the right time to pick off the ball. Man, oh man. All right, against the Browns now. Browns going throwing the ball a little bit deep, and the receiver just couldn't handle it. And once again, being in the right place at the right time to make that interception. Look at the concentration. This is a safety doing this, folks. You play defense because you can't catch the ball. And he has the concentration just to go, and once again, full extension for that interception. Man, oh man, what a talent out here. And that's not all the best that we've seen from this man. This is just one season when he won Defensive Player of the Year, and that's just some of the highlights. So, man, oh man, I love me some Troy Polamalu, honestly, folks. Truly great. What a talent. Man, whew, fantastic. Alrighty, we'll finish up with some basketball stories now, and this is, it's funny, but it's not funny. It's funny because it's disrespectful. It's funny because it's disrespectful. But here we go. We know, obviously, March Madness is starting, but the women's tournament is still... Is it happening at the same time? I don't know, and that's not great. But, so, we do get a little inside look of what the women's March Madness tournament is working with in terms of their weight room. All right, folks? This is it. That's all the women have for their weight room, folks. The just free weights of like the light ones, like the 2.5 to like 17.5 pounds. It's the weight rack that you find in the very corner, the back right corner of a Planet Fitness, folks. This is what the women are working with, a set of weights from like 2 to 17.5 pounds. It's not the 20, it's not the 25. It's a comically small weightlifting set. So here we go. That's the women's, and now they show the men's. Look at this space. They've got racks everywhere, free weights everywhere. They got an entire room, folks. They got an entire room. And then the NCAA came out and said, oh, the reason, it's nothing discriminatory that we did that with the women's. It's just we had no room. And then this player goes and exposes that right here, saying that this is their court. So this is where the women practice. That's their weight room. And then they've got this totally whole unused space that's basically almost the same exact size as the men's weight room that we just saw. So all this unused space there for the women, truly disrespectful. And we just saw this with the bubble in the WNBA and the NBA last season, where the men were getting all these nice meals and the women were literally living in like a murder hostel where they had to pay for their own laundry that was coin operated. And then we saw that for their meals, it was like cheese on bread, and the bread wasn't white or wheat. It was some kind of weird mixture of both that did not look any appetizing at all. So once again, the women getting a little disrespected here. It's just truly unfortunate. I mean, it's tough because the only reason that all right, let's break it down just like this. I mean, the reason why men get paid a lot of money for sports is because they bring in revenue. They can sell advertisements. I mean, all the sports that, the majority of everybody watches is really men's NFL, men's basketball. And I'm not saying women's sports isn't great, folks. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying a lot of people watch men's sports that sells advertisements. That means the owners of those teams can sell more advertisements, make more revenue, pay their players more money. I mean, that's how it breaks down. Where the women, they're not marketed enough, so nobody really knows. I don't know when their sports are on, folks. I follow ESPN. I follow all of that. I don't follow the WNBA, but I follow those major kind of sports networks, and they don't tell me when the women's games are on. They do it like once a month. Hey, this is what we got going on for the entire month, and if I miss that tweet, I missed the tweet, and I don't know it. So part of the problem is advertising. Part of the problem is marketing. The other part is just pure disrespect and, just blatant disrespect. So it is truly unfortunate. Once again, I mean, the women getting the short end of the stick here in sports. I mean, if you're even looking into the story, I mean, you see a lot of comments that, women's sports are an inferior product, and I don't want to 100% agree with that, but when we just look at the sheer performance of men and women's sports, I mean, men's sports is more electrifying. Now, women's do have sports that they are better than men at. I mean, women's basketball is not as exciting as men's basketball. I'll say that. It's not as exciting. Does it mean it's inferior? No, it just means it's not exciting. Nobody's dunking in the WNBA. So I get emphatic dunks in the NBA. And so I'm not knocking women's sports at all. They do do deserve to be playing. They do deserve to kind of get the same respect that men do. Women's tennis, I think, is a bigger market than men's tennis. I don't know that for sure. I don't even really watch tennis. I just know Serena, I think, is a more of a recognizable athlete than maybe Roger Federer, maybe. But yeah, I mean, that's the state of it. It's unfortunate, but you really just have to look at the top of what the money is right now. If women want to have the same respect and recognition that men do in sports, first of all, you need to get somebody on that marketing team, and then somebody else needs to, start selling advertisements to these big players, seeing that you can generate revenue so the owners can make money that pass it on. I mean, folks, you think the NFL owners and the NBA owners are paying people all this money in losing money? No. They're making money off the advertisements. Advertisements is the only thing that matters in this world. If you can sell advertisements, you're going to make money, folks. That's the bottom line. But there's really, especially in the NCAA, when they're not even getting paid yet, there's no reason why they should be having this disparity in their own weight room. I can't believe it. So yeah, that's that, folks. That is the NCAA women's tournament. Not great. Not even equal. Not even close to. It's really not even close. If you can watch the video, if you're watching the video here, if you're just listening to it, it's comical. It's comical, the difference there. Disrespectfully comical. Alrighty, and then the last story to talk about here, the Clippers are, quote, exploring trade routes for the Pelicans guard, Lonzo Ball. Now, is that good for the Clippers? It's not bad. They definitely need a point guard to help facilitate something on this offense because it's just not working. Paul George and Kawhi Leonard not being able to kind of get it done consistently together on a nightly basis. That's going to happen. You need somebody to be the one and the number two. You need somebody to be the one and somebody to be the two on a team on a consistent basis. That's why the Lakers work. Anthony Davis and LeBron always on. That's why the Bucks don't really work that much against good teams because Giannis is usually on, but Chris Middleton or Brook Lopez usually take a night off when on a kind of consistent basis. So you need both of your stars to be on. That's the big problem of the Clippers. Their other role players usually don't have great game either, but if you have a point guard that can help facilitate the floor and generate that offense, it should help out the offensive input or offensive output a little bit more. So Clippers trying to make a run of Lonzo. I don't think the Pelicans get rid of him because the Pelicans kind of need him on the team, and the Clippers really don't have anything to really offer head-to-head straight up. So we'll see what happens here, but it's an interesting trade, and I think it definitely does make the Clippers a little bit better, even though I'm not the biggest Lonzo Ball fan. I think his brother's better, and I don't think he's consistent. I mean, he had a chance to play with LeBron, and still it hasn't really taken anything away from that. So that's really what I judge. If you had a chance to play with LeBron and you're still kind of trash, there's nothing I can do for you, and I will not be believing in you, and I will not be rooting for you because nothing good is going to come from that. Alrighty, those are all the stories we needed to cover for today. Let's quickly go over what happened yesterday in the NBA. And then, I don't even know what we do. Do we do, well, I do want to take a look at everybody else's bracket here. That's in our kind of bracket challenge. And then maybe we'll do our power rankings in the NBA. So we'll see what the time is like. So here we go. Yesterday, Jazz, Wizards getting the win over the Jazz. Oh my God. Wizards win 131-122 over the Jazz. We definitely got to take a look at this, at the numbers a little bit more. Russell Westbrook, 35 points, 13 assists, 15 rebounds on 52% shooting. Magnificent. And he only had 5 turnovers. I'll give him 5. I've got no problem giving him 5 here, especially putting up 35, 13, and 15. Then Bradley Beal went off for 43 points, 5 assists, 2 rebounds on 66% shooting. I mean, Bradley Beal had 3 turnovers, and he only put up 5 assists and 2 rebounds. I mean, I'll take 2 extra turnovers for 13 more rebounds and about 8 more assists. I'll take the 2 more turnovers by Russell Westbrook. All right, look at this. Davis Bertans barely even played, and they still were able to put up 133 points, 131 points. Fantastic. So we get Rui Hachimura, 12.7 rebounds. Off the bench, we get Robin Lopez, 11 points, but the bulk of the scoring, which we know comes from Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook. They just need that kind of other third, and luckily it was Rui Hachimura because Davis Bertans did not play. So very well done by the Wizards. I don't think this is going to be anything kind of consistent. I mean, you're not going to be able to rely on Bradley Beal going for 40 and Russell Westbrook going for 30 every single night. It's just not going. It's not realistic, especially when we get down into the playoffs where people start clamping up defensively. Alrighty, now let's see what happened with the Jazz now. Donovan Mitchell put up 42 big old points. Holy cow. 42 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds on 53% shooting. Joe Ingles, oh my God, 34 points, 5 rebounds on 8 of 10 from 3 and 70% overall. Wow. So they had some scoring output to match, Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal there for the Jazz. Rudy Gobert, 10 points, 13 rebounds. Bojan Bogdanovic, 6 points. Royce O'Neal, 11 points. Jordan Clarkson, not really. He didn't even play, or he did play. He only put up 7 points, though, on 18% shooting. Jordan Clarkson, I mean, folks, for 6th man of the year, it's not locked in for Jordan Clarkson, honestly. So, poor performance here by him on 18% shooting on 11 shots. Come on. Got to be a little bit better than that, Jordan. Alrighty, so that's really the reason why the Jazz lose. Jordan Clarkson could not get it done for the squad, unfortunately. Alrighty, Hawks beat the Thunder 116-93. Let's check in with the Hawks real quick. Let's see what they're doing. I mean, their 7th straight win here. Absolutely fantastic. Trae Young, 23 points, 9 assists, 6 rebounds. Kevin Huerter putting up 10 points, 6 rebounds. Clint Capella, 8 points, 8 rebounds. Still gets it done. John Collins, absolutely fantastic, 19 points, and he shot 72%, absolutely wild. But that's what they need on this team. They need Trae Young, Clint Capella, and John Collins all to be really consistent. We've seen Trae Young and Clint Capella be consistent. We do need John Collins to step it up a little bit more, and we got some great bench contribution. Usually it's been Danilo Gallinari these last couple of games, but it's Bogdanovic here, 23 points, 6 rebounds off the bench. Fantastic. Danilo Gallinari still had 8 points and 9 rebounds, so I will give him that. And Rondo with 8 points and 4 rebounds in 18 minutes off the bench. So very well done by this Hawks team. Love it. Alrighty, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 19 points. He needs to score like 30 if that team wants to win on a consistent basis. But very well done to the Hawks. Love seeing them back on track here. We were big in them early in the first half of the season, and then they kind of fizzled out a little bit. But hey, if they're back now, I'm about it. We'll talk about them in our power rankings. Can we put them in the top 10? I would like to. We'll just say that. Alrighty, now we get the Knicks and the Magic. And the Knicks, I mean, they win, which is good, and we wanted them to win, but it was a close win. Not great. You can't be having close games and lose against the Nets and the 76ers and then come and, win a close game against the Magic too, because that's not really showing me that you're that great in general. But let's see what's going on with the Knicks here. Julius Randle, 18 points, 17 assists, 10 rebounds, triple-double for the man. Fantastic. RJ Barrett, 17 points, 9 rebounds. Alex Burks in the starting 3, 21 points, 10 rebounds. Great night by him. Nerlens Noel, though, at the 5, 2 points, 2 rebounds. Not great. And Frank Ntilikina, 13 points, 2 rebounds. So Emmanuel quickly did not play this game, and they still were able to get the win. Derrick Rose did not play this game, and they still were able to get the win. And Reggie Bullock puts up 20 points off the bench. So very well done. Some key players being out here. Some key guards, some key starting guards. I mean, Derrick Rose was starting, then he got injured, and then Emmanuel quickly got it elevated to that starting guard, and now he's not playing. So, hey, they still made it work, so we'll give it up for them. So maybe this close win against the Magic isn't that bad after all. And then we look at what Aaron Gordon and Vucevic both had. Vucevic, 17 points and 16 rebounds. Pretty good night. Eric Gordon, 17 points, 7 assists, and 5 rebounds. So, not bad. We'll see. I don't know if they can really work together. I mean, without Aaron Gordon, Vucevic was putting up, 25-plus points a game. Obviously, that's going to come down with Aaron Gordon because he's going to demand the ball a little bit more. But we'll see what's going on with this Magic team. Still really not anything great. We'll see if Aaron Gordon can even keep playing games back-to-back. I mean, the last time he played a game, he was out for like the next 3. So we'll see what happens. Alrighty, Minnesota Timberwolves and the Suns lose against the Timberwolves. Not really great here. The Suns team, after this All-Star break, has kind of been fizzling a little bit. Not really as good as they have been. So, Chris Paul, 17 points, 5 assists. Devin Booker, 35 points, 6 assists, fantastic. DeAndre Ayton, 14.7 rebounds. Jay Crowder, 7.7 rebounds. And Mikal Bridges, 17 points, 8 assists. Fantastic there. Not great scoring from their bench. Langston Galloway, 10 points off the bench. Dario Saric put up 8 points. Cameron Payne only put up 3. So that bench scoring from the Suns really let them down here. Where Anthony Edwards has been putting up an absolute tear recently. We got to start respecting this man a little bit more. We wanted this man to be a little bit more consistent for this Timberwolves team to start winning games. And, hey, he's been consistent here for the last, 3, 4, 5 games. So we definitely got to give it up to Anthony Edwards here. 42 big old points, 3 assists, 7 rebounds on 48% shooting. Not bad when you're taking 31 shots. And then Karl Anthony Towns also had 41 points, 8 assists, and 10 rebounds on 62% shooting from the field. So absolutely wonderful job. We know that Karl Anthony Towns and Anthony Edwards, they need to be kind of the Zach LaVine and Kobe White of the Bulls. They need to be the Russell Westbrook, Bradley Beal of the Wizards, and they've been doing it a little bit here, and that's why I want to say, are they on a 2-game winning streak, or am I bugging? They are on 1-game winning streak. All right, they're 3-7 in their last 10, so they have kind of been winning consistently for them. They've only got 10 wins all season, so 3-7 in their last 10, that's pretty damn good for them. So they're starting to get back on track here. If D'Angelo Russell can get a little healthy, don't know what his timetable is on his return, but if you can get him back and run the big three of Anthony Edwards, Karl Anthony Towns, D'Lo, we're talking about a solid starting squad here. Alrighty, Blazers and Pelicans. Blazers back on track here, getting a nice old win. We'll see what Dame Bill did. 36 points, no assists. Ooh, that's uncharacteristic. They barely had any assists. Nobody was assisting. They had 11 assists total? Oh my God, that's trash. 11 assists total between everybody on that Blazers team. All right, no ball movement there last night for the Blazers. But the Damian Lillard, 36 points, 6 rebounds on 54% shooting. CJ McCollum, 11 points. Enes Kanter, 16 points. Robert Covington, 10 points. Derrick Jones Jr., 8 points. So we do get kind of official confirmation. We haven't really said it yet, but CJ McCollum goes back to the 2, and Gary Trent Jr. goes back to the bench. So, that gives them a little bit more depth. And I do want to report we are at halftime with Virginia Tech in Florida, and Virginia Tech is up 33-27, folks. So Virginia Tech -1.5, looking real good so far. Fantastic. Alrighty, but back to Gary Trent Jr. So we get him off the bench. He didn't have a great night. Only put up 3 points on 9% shooting on 11 shots. So absolutely trash. So Gary Trent Jr. is really going to have to kind of figure out how to start scoring the ball off the bench like he was doing in the starting lineup when McCollum was out. So we will have to kind of track his progress. But we do get Carmelo Anthony, 15 solid points off the bench. We're rocking Gary Trent Jr., Carmelo Anthony off the bench. I'm about it, man. This is what we're talking about. Now you get Yusuf Nurkic back, and now we run in Carmelo Anthony, Gary Trent Jr., either Enes Kanter off the bench. That's what we're talking about. That's the Blazers team we want to see in the playoffs. So hopefully they can all get healthy before then, because that's going to be a solid squad, folks. Solid, deep squad, truly. Alrighty, the Pelicans lose again. No surprise there. They can't close out games. They're young. They don't have that great of a closing coach as well. So another loss here. Lonzo Ball, 15 points, 8 assists. 3 of 11 from 3. Got to cut that out. Got to definitely cut that out. Eric Bledsoe, he's got to start stepping it up. He's having an awful season here. 7 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds. He's really the main reason why. I would honestly move Eric Bledsoe off the starting lineup. I would put Josh Hart. I would try to get Nickeil Alexander-Walker or Jackson Hayes somewhere in the starting lineup and get Eric Bledsoe out of there. Rearrange the lineup a little bit. Maybe move Brandon Ingram to the 2. I don't know if that would work. Move Brandon Ingram to the 2. Maybe Zion at the 3. And then Jackson Hayes at the 4, something along those lines. Or maybe have, Josh Hart in there. Get Josh Hart in the starting lineup. But Eric Bledsoe is really killing this team. I would put it, if I have to just rank the starting 5, I would put Zion 1, Brandon Ingram 2, Steven Adams 3, Lonzo Ball 4, and probably Eric Bledsoe 5. Get that man out of the starting lineup. Damn. Actually, we can go to this. Let me go to this. I want to see where Eric Bledsoe is ranked here. We did this in the mid-season break when we were just kind of questioning our own narratives, where we went to ESPN.com and we were just kind of looking at the leaders of the team and the league and all of that. So let's quickly go to the Pelicans here. I want to see what Eric Bledsoe is doing for the squad, and there it is. Eric Bledsoe is the 6th best player on this team. Josh Hart should be the 5. And when we looked at when we just said our top 5 right there, Zion, Brandon Ingram, Steven Adams, Lonzo Ball, Eric Bledsoe, that was the starting 5. We're basically right here. Zion's 1, according to ESPN. Zion's 1, Brandon Ingram's 2. They got Lonzo Ball at 3. I would put him at 4. They got Steven Adams at 4, so I just flip-flopped them. And then they got Eric Bledsoe at 6 and Josh Hart at 5. So definitely got to move Josh Hart into this kind of starting lineup. Eric Bledsoe is killing this team. Stan Van Gundy, you got it. You're not winning games consistently, so I don't know why you're keeping this starting lineup throughout this entire time. You've got to start making some adjustments here. Eric Bledsoe is killing y'all. He's killing you. Alrighty. All right, let's go to let's go back to the NBA now, since we got that all figured out. All right, then the last game of the night, the Lakers and the Hornets, and this Lakers team, sneakily 4-game win streak for them. Nice win over the Hornets here, 116-105 win for the Lakers. Let's quickly see what is going on with this Hornets team. LaMelo Ball, 26 points, 7 assists, 5 rebounds. Fantastic night by that man. Terry Rozier, 20 points, 3 assists, 5 rebounds on 42% shooting, 2 of 6 from 3. Not the greatest, but I'll give him the 20 points there. Cody Zeller, man, 4 points, 2 rebounds. Alrighty. PJ Washington, 18 points, 8 rebounds, and then Gordon Hayward at the 3, 7 points, 10 assists, 9 rebounds. Didn't shoot well, 37%, but everything else was good. Just needs scoring to come from somewhere else. The bench really kind of let him down a little bit. Miles Bridges only put up 6 points. Bismack Biyombo put up 7, and Devontae Graham put up 12. Malik Monk putting up none on 4 shots. Alrighty. Got to get a better big here, man. Got to do a little bit better than Cody Zeller, man. If they get a great big, I want to see them make a splash by the trade deadline so freaking bad, and I think it's approaching. I want to say in the next week and a half, 2 weeks. So if the Hornets can get a great big, man, if they get Andre Drummond, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. But, man, Cody Zeller, 4 points, 2 rebounds. Damn it. All right, and then the Lakers very quickly. LeBron, Mother-loving James, 37 points, 4 of 9 from 3. Not bad, honestly. Once again, he's out of that 3-point shooting streak that he was on. Dennis Schroeder, 22 points, 7 assists. KCP, 7 points. Damian Jones still at the 5 here. Montrezl Harrell off the bench, 7 points, 11 rebounds. Love that. Caitlin Horton-Tucker off the bench, 12 points. And Kyle Kuzma off the bench, 12 points, 5 rebounds. So great night by their bench. Great night by LeBron. And everybody else just a little mediocre. Alrighty, that was the NBA from last night. We're not going to do our moneymaker for today's action. We may. No primetime nationally televised games on. We just did a moneymaker for the NCAA, and I do kind of want to do these other segments, so we are going to have to pass on our moneymaker. If we do one, we will tweet it out, so stick to our social media at TakesByFans on Twitter if we do our NBA moneymaker. But let's go to our bracket. Now that it's all figured out, that we've got it all set, it's officially closed here, our tournament, and we've got 2 other contenders besides ourselves trying to knock us off. So I just want to kind of quickly go over their brackets and kind of see, what they're saying. Did they choose the upsets we did? All of that stuff. So here we go. The first one we will look at is Go Rutgers bracket, and they didn't even choose Rutgers to win the tournament. What is that? What faith is that? All right, so let's go to his bracket. Okay, he's got Gonzaga winning like we do. His Final Four is Gonzaga, Baylor, Illinois, and Texas. Our Final Four is Gonzaga, Baylor, Illinois, and BYU. So kind of the same there, kind of the same thinking. We both got Gonzaga winning. He's got Gonzaga, Illinois in the final 2. I got Gonzaga, Baylor in the final 2. All right, let's go to some of these upsets that we called. Oh, look at this, man. He called UCSB and Ohio. Oh, my goodness. Everybody listen to us. The president's listening to us. Go Ruckers is listening to us. We called it, folks. Our algorithm is right. Whoever was saying that, I mean, I'm seeing this on a lot of brackets now, so whoever was saying that, our algorithm knows that as well, so give some respect to our algorithm, folks. All right, so he calls those 2 upsets, and then he has USCB beating Ohio like we have. Alrighty. Ooh, I like this upset he's got. He's got Drake beating USC, and what a double down. Drake just won last night by 1 point, and this man doubles down and says he's going to beat USC and get to the second round. So love that kind of confidence that Go Ruckers has in Drake. Perfect there. Fantastic. All right. What else do we get here? What other big upsets? He's got UCLA over BYU. Nobody's given love to BYU. I mean, I think Obama didn't have BYU coming out of the first round. This man doesn't have BYU coming out of the first round. Alrighty, we'll tell y'all. We'll show y'all. Once BYU wins that first round and they make it to that Final Four, y'all will be sorry. Our algorithm knows BYU's good, folks. Alrighty, let's go to, there was some upsets that we had here in the South with Colgate and Winthrop. Let's see if he took that advice as well. Yes, sir. He's got Winthrop beating Villanova. Then he's got Winthrop beating Purdue and going and facing Baylor, and we have the same thing. So, alrighty, taking our knowledge a little bit. Now let's look at Colgate, because we love Colgate heavy. We're getting them all the way to the Elite Eight, folks. Here it is, our Colgate pick going up against Baylor in the Elite Eight, just losing slightly. Alrighty, he doesn't have Colgate coming out at all. They've got Arkansas winning right out the gate. Alrighty, Colgate is playing right now, and so far they're up 20-17. So fantastic there. We got them plus 8 points. We love them straight up. We love Colgate, folks. Come on, y'all don't brush your teeth. Come on, give some respect to Colgate. Alrighty, what was the? We got any other upsets we like? We got the Liberty upset. We got them going pretty far. We got them going to the Sweet 16, losing against Illinois. And then I want to see what he's doing with Houston and San Diego State, because those are 2 good teams that I really think could kind of come out of the South or the Midwest. I loved what I saw from Houston. San Diego State was looking real good as well. Unfortunately, I kind of fell to the conformity of taking a 1 seed going into the Final Four, unfortunately. But let's see what he was saying about those teams. So he's got San Diego State getting to the second round and losing. That's where I have them. I've got them going to the Elite Eight, so I do have them beating West Virginia, where he has them losing against West Virginia. And then he's got Houston going to the Sweet 16, but then losing to West Virginia. So this man's believing in West Virginia very heavy, and I understand that. Alrighty, so go Ruckers. Great bracket here. I like what you did here. I love the USCB Ohio. I love the Drake double down. Absolutely fantastic. That's a lot of confidence to have, and hey, I respect the heck out of it. I love the Winthrop picks. Not really loving what you did about Colgate, but we'll see what happens, in an hour when the game is over. Alrighty, now let's go to HGMF6FKS4MN's bracket. Let's see what he's working with. He called all these upsets as well. So he's got the USCB beating Creighton, but he's got Virginia beating Ohio, so he did not listen to us there. All right, he's like an EWU beating Kansas. I don't think we took that. Yeah, I didn't like. I don't think we liked him. Yeah, we liked Kansas over EWU. Alrighty. Okay, now let's go to the South here. He doesn't choose Winthrop. That will be the downfall of HGMF6FKS4MN. Not taking Winthrop out of that first round. I think it's a little bit of a not great pick there. Let's go over, let's keep going up with these upsets and we'll move to the Final Four. All right, he's got Colgate coming out of the first round. Love that. And now they're up 25-17. Yes, sir. Keep going. But yeah, love seeing Colgate getting some love here. Now he's got Texas Tech coming out of the second round against Colgate. All righty. I don't agree, but I'll live with it. All right, now here in the East, nobody's calling the ACU upset over Texas, which we have called. So a little unfortunate there. He does get BYU beating UCLA in the first round, so I do believe that as well. I do like BYU. Okay, he doesn't have BYU going to the Final Four, though. A little unfortunate. And now the Midwest. Let's see these upsets. He's got Liberty going until this second round, losing in the second round, so love seeing that. He's got San Diego State going all the way to the Elite Eight, and I love that. I love what San Diego State has done. I am kind of decent fans of San Diego State, of just kind of what we saw in that algorithm, so I definitely respect him bringing them to the Elite Eight. All right, what else do we get here? He's got Houston losing against Clemson. Ooh, I think that might be his downfall as well. I think Houston's going to go real far. They could honestly get to the Final Four. And then the last one, was there any other last ones that we needed to look at upset-wise? Maybe not. So now we'll go to the Final Four. He's got Gonzaga, Florida, Illinois, and Bama. Then in the final, he's got Gonzaga and Illinois, with Gonzaga winning over Illinois. So a little bit of a different here. Got Alabama here in the finals. Got Florida in the finals. Alrighty. Alrighty, so that's the competition we got going against us. We'll see who comes out, who's got the best rhythm for picking, who picked the right ones, who picked them all correctly. Probably us, but we'll see what happens at the end of the tournament. We'll update all these day by day, game by game, live by live. So, alrighty. Alright, let's go to our NBA Power Ranking segment. Let's still get this back on track on Fridays. We haven't done one in about a couple of weeks because of the All-Star break, and then they resumed play on Wednesday, but only 4 teams played on Wednesday, and then a lot of teams played on Thursday, but there were some teams that still haven't played by that Friday, so we didn't want to do a Power Rankings there. So, with all that being said, we are taking whatever has happened from the All-Star break up until this point. That's our new Power Rankings based on, what we've already had going up into that All-Star break. Alrighty, so here we go. This is at halftime. Can I change this real quick? Let's see. Live March Madness. Got to keep all the games on. Trying to get it to our Colgate pick. That is Drexel, Illinois. All right, that's not Colgate. I'm looking for this big old Colgate upset, folks. We love Colgate. We just got them plus eight points, and they're winning currently. All right, so here we go. All right, we got it on commercial currently. We'll tell you the score in a second. But back to our power rankings here. We got heading into the All-Star break, the power rankings were Mavericks at 10, Celtics at 9, Blazers at 8, Heat at 7, Bucks at 6, Nuggets at 5, Jazz at 4, 76ers at 3, Suns at 2, and Nets at 1. Alrighty, now we only have one team. We're only kicking one team out of the power rankings that's currently in the power rankings, so we will bring in one new team. But the team we are going to kick out is the Boston Celtics. Yes, they got Marcus Smart back, but they have not been able to kind of figure out the rotations with him coming back off that injury yet, because since the All-Star break, they went 1-3. They beat the Rockets, which isn't even a win, folks. They're barely having 8 players play on a nightly basis. Everybody's out. They're trying to trade some of their players. They are not a winning team right now. They're not even thinking about winning. That team, that organization, nobody in that locker room is thinking about winning a game. So, I mean, their one win's really not even a win. And then they lose against the Nets, the Jazz, and the Cavs. Now, the Nets and the Jazz are very good teams, but, I mean, the Celtics, I mean, folks, they're in the East. It's an easier conference. They got superstars, but they need to figure out how to start beating some of these better teams. And until they do so, we got to take them out of their power rankings. So the Celtics are currently the only team that is in the power rankings, not going to be in the power rankings when we're done with the updated power rankings. So Celtics... Man, oh man, get it back on track, man. You got Marcus Smart back. Get him back into the number 2 position, wherever you're going to play him. But you got to start figuring something out here. So, Celtics are out. Alrighty, so let's go 10-1 and reveal our new updated power rankings. So, here we go. Alrighty, new number 10 team is going to be the Blazers. So they do drop down a little bit, and I don't want to fully take them out of the top 10. They are very close of going out of the top 10, but we won't move them out just quite yet. And here it is. Colgate is leading 27-19 with 6 minutes left in the first quarter, or the first half here. Colgate, yes, sir. Alrighty, so Blazers at number 10. Since the All-Star break, they have gone 3-2. They've beaten the Timberwolves and the Pelicans twice. Once again, not great wins. All right wins, below average wins, I would say. All right, and then their 2 losses are against the Suns and the Timberwolves. So they split their meeting against the Timberwolves, but then they lose to the Suns. It was a close game, but we'll move the Blazers down from 8 to 10 here. They just got C.J. McCollum back, trying to work him back into the starting lineup. Gary Trent Jr., we just saw, is kind of struggling kind of with his production off the bench, being the number 2 in the starting lineup for so long with McCollum out. Now McCollum comes back, so we're going to give the Blazers a little bit of a benefit of the doubt with those 2 losses since the All-Star break. Let's see C.J. McCollum get acclimated back into this lineup. Let's see Gary Trent Jr. start, getting it done off the bench. I mean, he's got to put up 10-plus points every single night, him and Carmelo off the bench. So Blazers at 10. Like what they're doing. Not great wins. Below decent wins, but don't want to fully take them out yet just because, C.J. McCollum, don't want to really have that to kind of ruin them, just kind of their player back in the rotation trying to get everything acclimated. And is that another 3 by Colgate? Yes, sir. They're up 33-19. Respect Colgate! Yes, sir. The 14th seed. Fantastic. And now they're going to go on a fast break here. Here we go. Let's see. They're going to cash out another 3. They drive. They pass out the 3. Wide open 3 again. Oh, they missed it this time. Darn it. All right. Well, let's get back to this. We'll shut this off for a little bit. But Blazers at 10. All righty. 9. We told you the Celtics are out of the top 10, so let's get them out. And this is the new team in the top 10 now. Got to give respect to the Lakers. Yes, sir. I mean, Folks, without Anthony Davis, they're still consistent, folks. I mean, LeBron James will get it done. LeBron James will everybody to having good games, and that's what we've been seeing lately. So, since the All-Star break, Lakers are 4-0, absolutely magnificent. They beat the Pacers, the Warriors, the Timberwolves, and the Hornets. Now, decent teams here. Pacers are kind of, below average. They're kind of average. They are the most average team in the league, honestly. So the Pacers, I think that was the game before Karis LeVert got cleared to play again. So a solid win there. Warriors, up and coming, they blow them out. They kind of make Steph Curry go crazy in that game. Timberwolves, once again, not a great win, but that Hornets win, they are up and coming, and I do like what they have. But very nice wins here for the Lakers. Once again, we're not going to penalize you for winning games you're supposed to win. So they go 4-0 since the All-Star break. LeBron James still getting it done consistently. He's back to hitting threes decently now. I mean, that month of February, holy moly, like 1 of 5, 1 of 10, like 1 of 6, 1 of 7 from 3 on a nightly basis. They weren't getting it done, but now he's hitting, 3, 4 a game. That's what we're talking about. So LeBron's getting a little bit better here since the All-Star break. Other players are kind of filling it in a little bit. Montrezl Harrell has been absolutely phenomenal. I don't like that he's not starting. I want to see that man start with Anthony Davis not in the starting lineup. So they're winning without Anthony Davis. They're winning without one of their best players that they have, and I got to respect the heck out of that. So Lakers, welcome back into the top 10 here at number 9. Alrighty, new number 3 team, and this is no fault of their own, well, kind of, but the Heat are unfortunately going to have to move back a spot, even though they have been playing very well. Now, so here we go. Heat moved back from 7 to 8 here. They have gone 4-1 since the All-Star break, and I know you guys are probably like, whoa, why are they moving back? It's just they're kind of what their opponents that they're beating and what other teams are doing. So unfortunate here. They beat the Magic, the Bulls, the Magic again, and the Cavs, and then they lose to the Grizzlies. I mean, come on, you can't lose to the Grizzlies. I mean, Grizzlies have been really shaky. 500, and then a game below 500, then a game above 500, then 2 games below 500, then 500 again. I mean, they're a very up and down team. And then the Bulls, the Magic, and the Cavs, I mean, that's not really great talent. The Magic, I mean, Aaron Gordon is just trying to start getting back into some of these games here. The Cavs, I mean, ever since they elevated ever since they got Larry Nance Jr. and Kevin Love back, the offense has been absolutely sputtering. And then the Bulls, I mean, Zach LaVine's good, but we really can't trust Kobe White. And then besides them, who else do they really have besides Thaddeus Young, 6th Man of the Year candidate, who got elevated to the starting lineup? So fantastic there. But overall, not really great teams, below average teams, I would say. So Heat, yes, good job for winning those games. We're not not really penalizing you. We're kind of upgrading everybody else around you a little bit more than you. So they've been going on a streak. Don't get us wrong. I mean, they are getting it done. They're back into a nice playoff spot here, the 4th seed. They're on a 5-game or 1-game losing streak, but 8-2 in their last 10. So they are still getting it done. It's just unfortunately some teams are performing a little bit better than them at this current moment. So don't want to knock the Heat too much. We'll move them back one to number 8. Alrighty, new number 7 team, and man, oh man, I'm super impressed by this team, and we put them at number 10 right before the All-Star break, and it was the best decision. We were deciding between Mavericks, Knicks, and the Wizards. We went with the Mavericks at the 10th seed right before the All-Star break, and it was the best decision we've made because the Knicks have been, they're still good. They're still competing, but they're not beating the better teams quite yet. And the Wizards, they just went and beat the Jazz last night. Fantastic, but they're super up and down. It's really, I mean, it all depends on what Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook do on a nightly basis. So well done to the Mavs. We move them up to the 7th seed now. I mean, just absolutely getting it done. Luka Doncic, Porzingis, Tim Hardaway Jr. off the bench, getting it done kind of on a nightly basis now. So the Mavericks, since the All-Star break, they beat the Spurs, the Nuggets, and the Clippers, and then they lost against the Thunder and the Clippers. So they split their series against the Clippers. They won the last game against the Clippers, so the latest game against the Clippers. So I would say that's good. You took stuff away from that loss, and then you turned it around and ended up winning the next night. So very well done to the Mavs, beating some of these better teams, the Clippers, the Spurs. And the Nuggets, I mean, a great team in the Nuggets. Losing against the Thunder, not great. And then losing against the Clippers, like we said, I mean, if you're splitting season series, back-to-back series, you're beating these better teams, that's what we're talking about. So very well done for the Mavs. I mean, they've been going on an absolute tear recently. Now they still have a lot of work to do. 7-3 in their last 10, and they're only number 8 in the West because they've kind of got out to a very, very slow start. So watch for this Mavericks team to start climbing a little bit more. But they're making a real great adjustment, kind of the week before the All-Star break, carrying it over here to kind of the week after the All-Star break. So we'll see if they can keep it up. Definitely impressed with what they're doing. We'll put them at number 7. Alrighty, new number 6 team, no longer the Bucks, and we are going to have to move back the Jazz a little bit. I don't know, man. They got to a really hot start, and maybe like the week and a half before the All-Star break, they started to flounder a little bit, and now after the All-Star break, they're once again kind of floundering a little bit. So they played 4 games since the All-Star break, went 2-2, beat the Rockets. I mean, that's not a win. I can't even count that as a win. That is a non-factor team you're going against. I mean, you have a 0% chance of losing against the Rockets. I mean, that's not a team. I don't even know what that is. It's just some scrubs thrown together. So Rockets are absolutely trash. So they beat the Rockets and they beat the Celtics. Once again, not really great wins there. Celtics, we just moved them out of the top 10, so that's not even a top 10 win right there. And then their 2 losses against were the Wizards and the Warriors. Oh my goodness, you cannot be losing against the Wizards. I don't care who you are. You cannot lose against the Wizards. And then the Warriors, they just kind of caught them at the wrong time, I believe. I believe that was the game. Was that the game before or after the Lakers where Steph Curry was pissed at everybody? But either way, I mean, Jazz, they have way too much talent to be losing to kind of these inferior teams. Jordan Clarkson, we just saw him not get it done against the Wizards last night. I mean, everybody in the starting lineup kind of got it done. But the thing about Rudy Gobert, and he is good, but really, he's not like Jokic. He's not going to provide the 25 points a game. I mean, he's going to put up 12 to 15, and that's really it. And that's not a knock on him. He's still great out there. He brings the defense and the rebounding. But when we're looking at points, we know Donovan Mitchell, he can go for some, but he's kind of light on some other nights. So Jazz, they are good. They are a good team, but man, some of these losses here, and I just feel like they've kind of lost their magic, their allure a little bit, and they've kind of been floundering ever since that point when they were winning and kind of, on like, were they on like a 20-game winning streak or something like that, where they were like, there was a 20-game stretch where they were just going wild, like their record was just wild during that 20-game stretch. But I feel like ever since that stretch has faded, they've kind of like, oh, we are beatable. We're not kind of, an unbeatable team here. So I think they've kind of lost that magic a little bit. And I think everybody's kind of taken their play down just a peg a little bit here. So they're still a good team. They've got the talent, they got the roster, they got the depth, they got the bench. I mean, that's the one thing. They've got the players, but they all need to start playing a little bit more better here, especially Jordan Clarkson off the bench. I mean, you know, he's a 6th man of the year candidate and maybe the front runner, but these last couple of games here, not really getting it done on a consistent basis. So we do have to move the Jazz back a little bit here. Alrighty, new number 5 team. Got to give it up for this team, the Bucks. Now, they're not looking great in these wins, but they're finding ways to win, so we got to give them credit here. So 3-0 in since the All-Star break, beating the Knicks, the Wizards twice, or so 4-0. The Knicks, the Wizards twice, and the 76ers. Just beat the 76ers without Joel Embiid, which shouldn't be that great of a win, but once again, we're not going to penalize you for doing what you're supposed to do. And also, they kind of came back. I mean, they were getting beat all game. Giannis wasn't being clutch at the free throw line late in that fourth quarter. They went in overtime. I'll give them a win there. So very well done for the Bucks for winning games. Now we see Chris Middleton not always stepping it up as the true number 2 during some of these games here since the All-Star break. So he's got to get it done. They've kind of been squeaking out some wins here, some close wins. Got to see the 3 be a little bit better. Got to start seeing some of these other kind of key pieces. Now they did just get Drew Holiday back, I think, right before the All-Star break. So he's kind of made a decent impact. But once again, I mean, we need Chris Middleton to really start to step it up. Dante DiVincenzo's got to be a lot more consistent. I'm seeing flaky games from him. Same thing with Brook Lopez. And if they can get the 3-point shooting back on track, this Bucks team can be good. But it's like good for one game and then just abysmal in other games. And nobody's really ever clutch here. But I got to give them credit for 4 straight wins here after the All-Star break. Getting the job done. Beating the 76ers. I get, like I said, I get it was without Joel Embiid. But still, at the end of the day, you still have Ben Simmons down there. You still have Tobias Harris. You still have Dwight Howard, who's doing pretty dang good over there. So, Bucks at 5. We'll see what they do. Not super sold on them. I'm not betting them consistently. But, you know, they've been winning some of these games here. So we will reward that. Alrighty, new number 4 team. We are going to go the Denver Nuggets. And they have been looking pretty dang good here since the All-Star break. Alrighty, so they are 3-1 in their last 4 games since the All-Star break. They've beaten the Grizzlies, the Pacers, and the Wizards, and lost to the Mavericks. Now, the Mavericks is not a great loss, unfortunately. But, I mean, they've got the pieces, Jokic, Murray, and Michael Porter Jr., and plus they just got Paul Millsap back on, you know, good rotations back at the 4. Michael Porter Jr. back at the 3 is making it work. So, very well done for the Nuggets here, able to move up a little bit. I think I just trust them a little bit more than the Bucks. That's why we're moving them up. I think I trust them a little bit more right now than the Jazz, and we know the Nuggets are the Jazz true kryptonite, so that's why we had them above them here. But very well done. Some solid wins there. The Grizzlies, the Pacers, those are solid wins. The Mavericks, I mean, definitely got to start beating that team, but we know they are up and coming, so we're not going to penalize the Nuggets too much. So, yeah, I mean, really, it's just Michael Porter Jr. is having absolutely phenomenal success on this team these last kind of the week before the All-Star break, and then continuing it here, moving from the 4 to the 3, still having that same kind of production. And Jokic, I mean, he's handling every opponent that they bring to him. So for the Nuggets, we move them up to 4. I think this is the highest they've been. Hopefully they can keep it up. A great team all around, decently deep as well. But we'll see if they can kind of keep it up here. So Nuggets at 4. Alrighty, top 3 now. The new number 3 team, unfortunately, takes a little bit of a step back here, is the Suns. Now, they've kind of lost their little bit of magic as well. I felt like, you know, right before the All-Star break, they felt like they were invincible. Then, you know, since the All-Star break, they went 2-2 in their last 4 games. So they have beaten the Blazers and the Grizzlies, but then lost against the Pacers and the Timberwolves. So really not decent teams to beat. Grizzlies and the Blazers, really kind of, you know, above average teams, solid teams. So some decent wins there, but then they'll lose against the Pacers and the Timberwolves, teams that they really shouldn't be losing against. But at the end of the day, the starting lineup is absolutely fantastic. Chris Paul, Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, Jay Crowder. Forgetting who they run at the three doesn't really make a difference. But their bench needs to start stepping it up, and that's what was so good about the Suns team, like kind of leading up into the All-Star break when they went in that big run and secured that number 2 seed in the West right before the All-Star break, was that their bench was getting it done. Dario Saric and Cameron Payne and Cameron Johnson all having really kind of great nights on a nightly basis that were helping out the starters a little bit, because we don't have to question the Suns starters. That's everything is solid there kind of on a nightly basis, but that bench needs to be a little bit better. So we're going to drop the Suns back a little bit, but I mean, Chris Paul and Devin Booker are still getting it done with DeAndre Ayton. So they're usually winning all the games just because of their starting lineup, but if they can get their bench involved a little bit more, we're talking about a real dangerous team. So Suns will take a little bit of a step back this week. And then the 76ers, we are going to move them up to this number 2 seed right here. And so let's just tell you what they've been doing since the All-Star break. They are 4-1, if you could believe that. They beat the Bulls, the Wizards, the Spurs, and the Knicks, and then the loss against the Bucks. Now, those aren't great wins. Bulls, Wizards, Spurs, Kings, or did I say Knicks? Can't read my own handwriting, unfortunately. That looks like the Knicks to me. So yeah, the Knicks. So not really great wins. Not you know the Clippers or the Lakers or the Jazz or the Bucks or the Mavericks or anything like that. But once again, we're not going to penalize you for doing what you're supposed to do. And they're doing all this without Joel Embiid. So they're making it work without Joel Embiid. Absolutely fantastic. Dwight Howard's been absolutely great, kind of filling up for his place. Ben Simmons is always great. Tobias Harris is great. It's just really Seth Curry and Danny Green are the ones that really aren't truly stepping it up on a nightly basis for the 76ers team. But it is still great sign seeing them win games consistently without Joel Embiid. If they can kind of, continue out kind of winning on this pace of 4 wins and 1 losses when Joel Embiid out, I mean, if they can just kind of manage without him, and then once they get him back, they're always great with him on the floor. So the 76ers winning without Joel Embiid I think is truly impressive, and that's why we are moving them up a little bit here at the number 2 seed. And then the Nets will stay the number 1 seed, 4-0 since the All-Star break, beating the Pistons, the Knicks, the Celtics, and the Raptors. So some great wins there. And then once again, the Nets not having Kyrie Irving for one of those games. James Harden stepping up and still getting it done. James Harden being kind of the floor general, still getting it done without Kevin Durant. They're still deep. Joe Harris always great. Bruce Brown always great. DeAndre Jordan just being there. Nothing great, nothing bad, just kind of meh. But really it's just James Harden here. MVP, I would say front runner at this point. But yeah, I mean, this Nets team, they're deep. They're great. They can shoot the ball. It doesn't matter. Stop with this. The Nets don't play defense narrative. What is this? They're winning games. Can y'all relax on this? There's James Harden's hitting clutch shots. Kyrie Irving's hitting clutch shots. And if that's not working, they still got Joe Harris. No problem. Or Bruce Brown. And then Nicholas Clarkson starting to step it up. I mean, folks, this team is truly deep. So Nets stay at number 1 just because they're so gosh darn deep. Alrighty, that is the new power rankings. We'll update this next Friday, but here we go. The new updated power rankings. Blazers at 10, Lakers at 9, Heat at 8, Mavericks at 7, Jazz at 6, Bucks at 5, Nuggets at 4, Suns at 3, 76ers at 2, and the Nets at 1. Alrighty, we will kind of close out today's show by just kind of looking at the NCAA tournament right now. Colgate just went into halftime, and they kind of beefed it at the end of this game right quick. Now they are down 36-33 right at halftime. Come on, Colgate, get back in it. Get back in it. Really had a bad 4-minute stretch there at the end of the game, or at the end of the first half. Alrighty, but here we go. Let's get everything kind of back on track here before we go. For the games of the March Madness that are on right now, Virginia Tech currently has the lead 42-36 over Florida. Once again, one of our picks of Virginia Tech minus 1.5. Colgate is getting 7. They are down 3 at the half, 33-36. And then Drexel in Illinois just tipped off. Illinois is winning 17-11. That was a big old spread. I think it was, 15 to 20 points that we stayed away from. Alrighty, folks. Well, March Madness is underway. We will get you, updated, on that on a daily basis here at Takes by Fans. We're watching games live. We'll talk through the games. We'll talk through our brackets, through our challenges brackets, all that throughout the week, and whenever March Madness ends. So now, since we're all caught up on March Madness, let's see if we get any breaking news. All right, Adam Schefter. Here's the interesting part on Steelers wide receiver Juju Smith-Schuster, 1-year deal. Oh, so he's going with Pittsburgh. I didn't think it was going to leave. Juju Smith-Schuster. I thought he was going to stay one more year. We said that. Woo. I mean, if Big Ben was coming back, I really didn't think Juju would leave either. So they're going to run it back one more year here. Good thing he's not a Dolphin. I will just say that. Wow. So, okay. So, other teams had some offers on Juju Smith-Schuster. KC, the Chiefs offered him $8 million. The Steelers offered him $8 million. And the Ravens offered him $9 million. And he still went with the Steelers. Wow. Yeah, I mean, I think he likes Mike Tomlin. I think he likes Big Ben. I think that conversation between Mike Tomlin and Juju Smith-Schuster right at the end of the season about that whole Tic Tac thing, I think that must have went over pretty decently if he's still there. All right, Juju Smith-Schuster with a tweet. This is my home. They're going to need a wrecking ball to take me out of here. Pittsburgh, I love you. Let's go. And then he posts the classic Wolf of Wall Street, I'm never fucking leaving quote. So, or the video. I'm never fucking leaving. Great freaking quote. Great scene, great quote, great movie, great everything. So, yeah, Juju Smith-Schuster, we thought he would stay, folks. That was our original prediction, that he would stay with Big Ben. They'd run it back. And here it is. Alrighty. That's looking like the only breaking news. Alrighty, well, we're going to get out of here. We're going to finish watching March Madness for the entire day. Hopefully our bracket stays intact. Hopefully our algorithm is proving that it works. Since, hey, I mean, like we said, the proof of concept is there with the playing games from yesterday. Alrighty, folks, we're out of here. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you tomorrow.